Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Vintage Voice. I am one of your hosts, Kira Peters, joined with my co-host, Jessica Rath. And we are here today to talk about Operation Fix It, which is a housing rehab program that we have here in Scottsdale. So we're going to jump right into The Vintage Voice. And as a reminder, this is a podcast and right now a show where we focus on all things aging related. So aging population, seniors, and really beyond that, caretakers, people that are helping people aging live life well. So with that, hey, Jessica.
Hey. How's it going?
Good.
Did you notice my new addition?
Your readers.
I've been trying to postpone wearing readers, and I mean, I'm just to that point.
You know what? This is a show about aging, so maybe we do a topic of low vision and readers. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to embrace it. I'm here.
Yeah,
so.
no, you're here. And I'm excited that we're here to talk to our guest, which I know you're going to introduce. So.
Yes. So welcome. Hi, Reese.
Hi.
How are you? It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah. So just tell me a little bit about you and your City of Scottsdale background and what you're doing now.
Sure. I've been with the city going on 4 years now. The first role I had with the city, I worked with Human Services as part of the homeless navigation team. I would take the easy requests online and do street outreach for the homeless. I worked with the Brick by Brick program at that time, helping the homeless, people suffering from homelessness here in Scottsdale. And currently I am with Human Services still, and I help run a program called Operation Fix It, which is one of the 3 rehab programs that the city has to offer alongside the major rehab program.
And I'm excited to learn about this rehab and how it's helping the community.
Me too. I feel like I don't know a lot about it, so I want all the details.
Okay.
And then what about you, Armando? Thanks for joining us, Armando. Tell us about your background and your current role.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. I've been with the City of Scottsdale for going on 8 years now, 8 years in September. My whole time with the city has been with the in housing, the Housing and Community Assistance Office. I started off my career here in the helping administer the Housing Choice Voucher Program, which is a rent subsidy program for low-income households. Now I'm currently in the role of community grant specialist for the major, the housing rehabilitation programs.
Mm-hmm. So I want to dive a little bit into this, and you guys have to forgive us if we get it a little bit confused. And Jessica and I have been with the city for a long time too, but we're talking about major housing rehab, and Operation Fix It falls in that. How do you guys want to tackle it? Like, do you want to talk about Operation Fix It, and then we'll go to Armando to talk about the other rehab programs? What do you think, Reese?
Yeah, no, that'd be fine. We can do it that way.
Okay, does that sound good to you?
Yeah,
Try to simplify it. So,
okay.
Operation Fix It.
Sure. Operation Fix It. We're a program that works in the city, in the community. We use city staff and dedicated volunteers, and we help qualified homeowners, Scottsdale homeowners. So some of the things that we help them with are green pools, weed mitigations, tree trimming, tree removal, exterior house painting, junk removal, and these are all things that would come through a referral, either from code, you have to have a code violation, an HOA violation, or be referred to by a city program, such as the other rehab programs.
Okay, so when Armando's out and about, and you might notice somebody in need of some help with their house, and you mentioned green pool, weeds, things like that, then Armando, you refer to Operation Fix It?
That's correct. If I'm out there on a housing rehabilitation project and I notice a green pool or some issues with the client's landscaping, then I would refer them over to Reese and Operation Fix It for further assistance.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I have a question. So if one of our social workers at the senior center has a client that they see that could use assistance, does that count as a referral?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You bet. Social workers, PD, yeah, just about any city program really, because they would have a little background into the situation.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah.
So Reese, and I know this touches on both Armando's and Operation Fix It, but when we talk about eligible clients, I mean, we're talking about referrals, but is there an income verification or an income level that's also required?
There is. Good question. Yeah, absolutely. For all the programs, we have income eligibility, and for Operation Fix It, there's also a referral side of it that we already talked about. That would be the code violations, HOA violations. So yeah. To meet the income requirements, you can only own one home in Scottsdale, or your second home has to be equal or lesser value.
Okay.
The first questions we'd ask a potential applicant is, are you a Scottsdale homeowner? Have you owned and lived in the home for 1 year prior to applying for the program? And then after we get through that eligibility status, then we start going into the income eligibility at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to add on to that, the income limits are set by HUD. They are set based on the household size. So one person household would have a different income limit than a 2-person, 3-person, 4-person household. They are updated on a yearly basis, typically in June or July. So for current income limits, I would ask your listeners and viewers now to visit the City of Scottsdale website and search housing rehabilitation programs, and they can find the guidelines there and the income limits for all the programs.
And when you mention HUD, I don't suppose that maybe everybody doesn't know, but Housing and Urban Development.
Correct.
Big federal program. Okay.
Big federal program.
Can I ask a question that might be a little bit off topic, but I don't know, like when we talk Operation Fix It, Reese, what's the most common code violation or issue that you see? Like what's the most common?
Sure. Most common would be a weed mitigation. So that's any weeds in a rockscape, and the weeds have to be over 6 inches tall. Following in, right behind that would probably be landscape cleanup, and we do a lot of exterior junk removal. Not necessarily on a hoarding level, but in an intermediate level.
Is it kind of sensitive to some people?
Yeah, real sensitive.
I mean, just
you
because
bet.
that's your home, and I
Yeah.
wonder like how you navigate offering that help, or Armando, like how you address it with a client if it's not too sensitive to talk about. But I think that's kind of the interesting part. People usually have a lot of pride in their
Right.
home, and it might be kind of hard for someone's pride if they're not able to take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You bet.
Yeah, I think we both understand that we're walking into someone's home, so we want to be mindful of that. And there's sensitive issues that we're trying to resolve.
Yeah.
So we take that into account, and customer service is definitely a high priority for our programs.
Yeah. How about, you guys probably have some great stories, but really like the impact of your work. And I don't know if I'm blurring these together too much, but could you guys talk about some of the successful impacts, that you've had?
Sure. I could start there.
Okay.
Yeah, Operation Fix It, to begin with, there's a lot of touches going on that nobody sees. First of all, there's a code officer that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 stops sometimes. There's been citations issued. There's nervousness. They get these letters that read, you have 10 days to fix the problem. So they're already on a high anxiety level. Yeah, and then we just deal with the exterior of the home.
Right.
But yeah, lots of people feel bad. They'll say, I just haven't been able to get out there in the last couple months. And so once we come in with a group and we're able to take care of the situation, the relief starts with the homeowner. They kind of get a sense of, what would you say? They kind of get their moxie back, kind of, because they've been in the yard that everybody drives down the street. They've been looking at, thinking, oh my goodness, what's going on there? So first of all, it's a relief there. They know they're not going to get knocked on the door by the code enforcement officers anymore. I think what's really neat is when we finish a project, lots of the neighbors will kind of come out of the woodwork and come up to me and ask, what just happened? Who are you? How did you end up here?
Oh.
Yeah, and we've tried to help in the past. We just got a little bit behind ourselves. We used to help this person. And so the whole neighborhood can take a little sense of pride in the fact that, that one home that might have been on the corner in the middle of the block now looks a lot better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It saves a lot of resources. Social workers, PD, code enforcement, myself. As he mentioned, we have people that help us go through the application process, and so it just relieves all those resources. Plus, it's a feel-good for everybody.
Yeah, that's really good.
Tell us about the volunteer groups that
Yeah.
help you out.
Because I've seen
Absolutely.
pictures on social
Yes,
media.
me Yeah. too.
They're amazing.
Yeah. So we get our groups from everywhere. We get faith groups, corporate groups, Boy Scout groups. And the way they find us is either on the internet. Some of them have worked with the program in the past. We have a lot of recurring people who come out, groups that volunteer. There is an application process, and that can happen via the website. They go to scottsdaleaz.gov, Operation Fix It. They go down to Give Help. They'll find an application that they can fill out. It'll go to Brandon Chapman, who is our volunteer coordinator.
Right.
So we need one person to be vetted for each large group.
Okay, so there's
Yep,
like a
so we need a
representative.
group leader, yep, and then everybody else can just fill out a waiver when they come on site.
Okay.
So we just need to vet one person per large group.
So it's really pretty easy breezy then.
Really easy breezy. In fact, it says that on the internet.
Does it?
Yeah, it says it on our website.
All right.
So you kind of got it.
Yeah,
You stole it
okay.
without knowing you stole it. That's really good. I'm proud of you. Way to go.
Yeah, thanks. And I know the title of this is Operation Fix It and Major Housing Rehab, as Armando was mentioning. So do you want to talk a little bit about some of the other major, I know we've been talking about the outside and Operation Fix It, but what about your work in the other major housing rehab?
Sure. So there's three other programs that we facilitate out of our office. The first one I'll speak about is the Major Housing Rehabilitation Program.
Okay, so
This program provides cost-effective home improvements for qualified homeowners, owner-occupied homes. The types of improvements that we try to our goals to make for these properties are improvements that are going to minimize the environmental impact for the home, and also reduce energy consumption. And also we are looking to remove or cure any deficiencies, items that are not meeting current code for the city of Scottsdale. We also we'll do modifications to the home for elderly or disabled to make the home more accessible.
like
to them.
ramps or things like
Ramps,
that?
grab bars, think about
okay.
things like that to help our clients age in place
Yeah.
more comfortably. That's the Major Housing Rehabilitation Program. We complete those improvements through a loan up to $80,000. This loan has probably the most favorable terms that you'll find anywhere. It's a zero interest loan. Payments are deferred, so there's no monthly installments payments to be made. The payment is due upon the sale of the property,
Okay.
or if the client refinances the home with the intention to take equity out, or if the client at any point rents any portion of the home, then the city will look for repayment. One of the biggest benefits to that program is at the 36-month completion of the work, 50% of the loan is forgiven.
Okay. So Armando, just so I'm following along the map, like if you are a senior and you qualify for this and you come in and Jessica gets ramps and grab bars and she's just living in her home but still, maybe struggling financially, would she ever have to make a payment if she lived in that house and aged in that house until she passes away?
No payments if there's no refinancing where equity is taken out.
Okay, yeah, then she would. Okay, so really, the senior or whoever qualifies would not.
It's when the home transfers,
Understood.
title, the title
Okay.
transfers,
Yeah,
and that's when
okay.
repayment would be due.
Really nice benefit.
So what we do through that program to determine what improvements need to be made to the home, we'll have a third-party vendor, Power Down America, come out and do a home performance audit. So they're going to take a look at the insulation, windows, doors, mechanical equipment, so air conditioners, ductwork, water heaters, and they'll submit a report back to us with their findings. In addition to that, again, we're looking we have a conversation with the client. What would make the home help the home be more accessible to you? So we'll take all that and write a scope of work, and the work is completed by a licensed contractor. So we award
It's not Reese and Operation Fix It going into.
No, we're exterior of the home only. Operation Fix It.
So
yeah.
these are it goes out to a pool. We award the project through a competitive bid. They have to be a licensed contractor. We put it out for a bid process or bid period of 1 week, and then we tally up the bids at the end of that 1 week, and then we'll award the project to a contractor.
Okay. Was that all three? You said three. Did we cover three?
So
No, that was
that's
one.
Yes,
Was
that's
that just one?
There's
Okay.
more. There's more. So the Major Housing Rehabilitation Program primarily works. We complete the improvements through a loan. The other two programs that I'm here to talk about are the Emergency Repair Program and the Roof Repair and Replacement Program. Those are a little bit different. Though we facilitate the repairs through a grant, so there is no loan involved. So in theory, we can complete the work at no out-of-pocket cost to the homeowner, as long as we can determine them income eligible for the program, and the repair that they're requesting is eligible through the program. Emergency Repair Program is there to address issues items that impact the immediate livability of the home.
Air conditioning?
Air conditioners, one, water heater, failed plumbing systems, think of those things.
Yeah.
Also, through that program, we can also do some of the home modification to help the elderly or disabled age in place.
Okay.
That program can be reapplied to on a yearly basis. The grant resets itself. It's up to $10,000 in qualified assistance. The second program is the roof repair and replacement program. That's a one-time use only, up to $20,000.
Did you say roof or repair?
Yes. So
And replacement.
That's what I know. Wait,
Or
that was the
replacement.
part replacement.
Yeah,
yes. So
replacement.
if there's a
deal.
That's a
failing
big deal.
roof system, it's a big deal. And so the nature of that program is one-time use. So you can only use that once.
Armando, how much is a roof repair on average?
On
No
av-
replacement. I want to know replacement.
So really it depends on the type of system that you have. So a shingle roof can go anywhere from 12 to 14,000. So it's a big expense.
Yeah.
Tile roofs are a little bit more expensive. We're usually up to that upper limit of
Yeah.
20,000 to complete those. So that's the
Yeah.
range.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I knew that. Okay.
And if I could just add one
Yeah.
thing. So Operation Fix-It used to stand alone, and now it's been moved to the Housing and Community Assistance Office. So now we have one application for 3 programs,
that's
2 of which he talked about, yeah. So if you get through the application process, you're deemed eligible. It's good for Operation Fix-It, the emergency repair program, and the roof repair and roof replacement program. And we see cross-references happen all the time through those 3 programs. That's why they're grouped together, and then of course the other program is alone. So it kind of stands alone.
That's correct.
I have a question. You know, if say somebody's driving around and they see something, or you're a neighbor, like you're a concerned neighbor for somebody, do you have a lot of people like reaching out to you saying,
Not concerned neighbors necessarily. They normally reach out to code enforcement, and then code enforcement makes the
as you were
referral to
talking
me.
about earlier? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Would we go off a citizen referral? I think we'd look into it. We'd
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
try to make contact with that homeowner because maybe there's something else going on in the background that's made
Right.
the exterior of the home come to that extent. So we'd reach out that way. Would it automatically make them eligible? That's something we'd have to
Understood.
consider. Yeah.
Okay. And I know, I think we've all driven around
Yeah.
our community where you
Oh,
see
you bet.
houses in
Yeah.
disrepair, and you never want to like be
Yeah.
a tattletale necessarily, but I forget
Yeah.
the code enforcement piece of it, that
Yeah.
that's their job and that they would refer to your
Sure.
team.
It's amazing. You guys do so much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we're happy
Yeah,
to do it.
it's
Yeah.
really amazing the city provides these programs.
Yeah.
You know, I've said it out loud once, maybe I haven't found anything else quite like it, but I think Operation Fix-It is pretty much its own entity out here in Scottsdale. I don't know that anybody else is doing the exact same program. Yeah, so that's really exciting. And now to be in the housing building with the rest of the folks, it makes it that much easier.
Yeah. You know, Jessica, I know that this show is about aging, and I mean, imagine if you are trying to age in place, and I think one thing, Jessica and I, with working at the senior center, you hear a lot about how people do like to age
Yeah.
in their home, and not
Yes.
leave, but it's hard to take care
Yeah.
of things.
It is.
You know, roof, never mind if you're on a fixed income and things like
Right.
that. So I think the work that you're doing is really making a difference in our community, and I'm sure the recipients of all the work that you do are so grateful. We should have tried to have a live guest come on.
I have someone in mind if you want
Okay, maybe we'll
film
do
a separate
that.
segment.
Yeah. Operation Fix-It's also kind of going through, not a new logo, but we're going to kind of put out some new colors, some new graphics. We're going to try to get Operation Fix-It out into the public again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the program's been around for 10 plus years. You know, it's had a couple different platforms. It used to use youth at one time. It was called Stomp. Then it went to Operation Fix-It. Yes, the program's been around forever, so we're really excited.
And I think what we hear a lot from our clients is they just didn't know that we existed. So
Sure.
we definitely appreciate the platform allowing us to come and speak about our programs and get the word out there.
That's great. Yeah, good. What are we forgetting? Anything, or did we cover it?
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Well, I would just say that we've done Operation Fix-It this year, helped 48 homeowners.
Wow.
A total of 61 projects. Some of those homes were touched more than one time. Either they got more than one code violation,
Yeah.
which happens, especially if they're aging in place. Or there was some prep work before we painted, or we also do Rock the Yard, which is pretty exciting. So there's a lot of prep work.
Is there
that goes
music
into that.
involved in Rock the Yard?
There
Like rock and
certainly,
roll?
there certainly could be. Yes.
Yeah.
What is
Kira,
Rock the Yard?
now that you said that, we gotta implement
Yeah.
the music. We get a little live band, maybe a 2-3 piece band show up.
Is Rock the Yard?
Should get appropriate permits.
Yes.
Right, exactly. I bet you there is a permit.
Rock in the Yard is just like replacing turf with rock.
Well, it would be the grasscape that's dirt. And so that's a violation. Either you have to have a beautiful lush lawn, or you have to take that out and put something else in. It could be turf, but for costs, and this program works on donations and a small budget.
Right.
So what we do is we kill the weeds, come in, remove the grass, and then we replace it with rock the yard.
Rock
Yeah.
the
So
yard.
we did 3 so far this year since the program moved, and we already have a couple in the queue for next year.
It's great.
Yeah. A lot of hard work, though.
Well, yeah, and that's
Yeah,
a lot of manual
yeah.
labor too. So it's
Yeah,
cool
sure
that
is.
I think what's special is these programs, and you and I know it. Like the volunteers, Scottsdale has a great, caring community,
absolutely.
people that
So
come
many
together.
volunteers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a project coming this Saturday, which I found out about this morning. So one of the faith groups reached out and wanted to do one more project before it got too hot. And for some people, it's too hot already. But
Right, no.
anyway, we're ready to go. We had a homeowner who was eligible, so we scheduled it and we're going to do it.
Reese, that's
Yeah.
great.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So for people who want to know about the program and how to volunteer, do you just recommend going to the city's website and Google searching housing rehabilitation?
Housing
or
rehabilitation, that'll take you to our 4 programs that we
Great.
run out of our office. Income guidelines will be there. Program guidelines are all there as well. We update it frequently. You can start the online application directly from the website, or if you have special requirements where you need a paper applications, we can make those arrangements as well. Just reach out to us, give us a call.
Okay. Guess Jessica and I need to get out there and participate.
I kind of want to come volunteer.
Next fall, let's put
Yeah,
together
let's
a
put together,
project.
okay,
We'll do a
perfect.
project.
Little
We'll do
human
one
services.
for the podcast,
Yeah.
and then our office wants to
Perfect.
do one as well.
Well, good.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be perfect.
right. Okay.
Yeah, let's
Well,
do it.
this is recorded, so it's on. It's happening.
guys are
We're going to do it.
The
We're going to
obligation
do
is there
it.
now.
All right, so I think that's it. Is that all we
Yeah.
have today?
I think that's all we have today.
Okay, that's
Hope you two
great.
are tuning in to the Vintage Voice quite regularly.
Well, we're going to have to from now on, right? Thanks
Get
for having
all the
us.
up-to-date information about aging in Scottsdale. here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thank you guys for having us.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Of course. Thanks for the good work you guys do.
thank you.
So,
Do you need to put the readers on?
I think I do. Let's do it. Okay. Thanks for joining us today on the Vintage Voice. We hope you learned something new, like we did, and thank you to our guests, Reese and Armando, for being here with us today, and my lovely co-host, Kira Peters. And just a friendly reminder, stay vertical, Scottsdale.
That was good.
Yeah, that was okay.
That was really good. See, didn't it get easier as we got
Oh, it
going?
did.
I feel like you
you
guys
got
were
sweaty
really
ones.
calm.
Yeah,
I got
you guys
sweaty
did a
ones.
great job.
Real
See, I
sweaty
told you
ones.
Kira brings us to
She does.
The
Yeah,
flow
yeah.
is very good.
But
Thank
how
you.
calming was that when you
Yes.
put your readers on? You're like, wow. I thought to myself, wow, we really got this thing mellowed out at the end. She put those glasses on and just brought her down 2 levels.
I mean, that's my natural state. Let's be real.
Oh my God.